We are just moments away from the 150th Kentucky Derby, coming to you live from Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky. Bailey Williams joined in studio again by Mike Heads. Mike, we have two different tickets. We're going to get things started here. I'm going to go with number 11, Forever Young. I'm putting this horse on top. The Japanese horse. They've changed their breeding program over, I'd say, about the last 5 years. They're really trying to come over to North America, prove themselves in their stock. They have a very different training style. This horse is 5 for 5 lifetime, very well traveled. Just coming off of that Dubai UAE Derby victory there. This horse proves to be rateable. In all the galloping we've seen, this horse is smooth. He does beautiful lead changes, relaxed. They take him for nice wanders. He has the mentality in front of that big crowd. I think will definitely be in this horse's favor, as there's a lot of speed. There's a big field. Lots to maneuver through.
Right. I know Mike Welsh, who's the DRF clocker, he clocks for the Daily Racing Form. He mentioned that he was really impressed with the way, as you mentioned, lead changes with Forever Young. He really has looked the part since arriving in Louisville. So, it's always tough to come over, but you're right. He's well-traveled. He's gone from Japan to Saudi Arabia, and he's done in Dubai. He's been everywhere and performed obviously perfectly. He's a perfect 5 for 5. I'm going to go to Mystic Dan. I don't love a horse in here, but I do like that. I think 20-1. It's on the morning line is a very fair number on him. He was so good at Oakland Park in the Southwest Stakes. They chose to skip the Rebel with him. And just go off and work. So the Rebel kind of came up a little quick, maybe in 3 weeks, but he crushed them in the Southwest. And then he had to come in off of work. So it was almost 2 months between races his next start in the Arkansas Derby. And he ran into a good Muth. He didn't get a great trip at all. I just think better spacing in between races. He's a versatile horse. He can handle fast tracks, off tracks. He's got a nice draw. I think he'll be in mid-pack. Brian Hernandez knows him very well. I don't know. I'm just going to try Mystic Dan at a nice price. I'm going to do a little win place bet on him and perhaps hook him up in an exactor with the favorite or one of the favorites, Sierra Leone, who won't have any trouble with the 1.25 mile distance.
I did, in my exactor play, leave the number 2 Sierra Leone out just simply because I didn't like the way he loaded that last start.
Yeah, that was alarming.
Yeah, we've seen him school lots. They've done a great job in schooling this horse. However, it's hard when you're not there live to equate. He's sweaty every time he's schooled. Is that due to the temperature, stress? That's the only reason. It's a big field to load. I did leave him off my ticket. Add a little bit of a play here. I'm going to put Catching Freedom, closer of the field. Every time we've seen him paddock school, he's got beautiful muscle tone, really coming into himself. Had a terrible, unfortunate trip there in the Louisiana Derby. Got stopped, re-rallied, was able to get the win. I think that showed a lot of tenacity for a young horse in particular. Fierceness, I also threw in for that place spot on my ticket. Johnny Velasquez, this is his race, I think, to win or lose. He's a very smart rider, but there's a lot of speed to his inside.
That's the thing, pressure. How much pressure does Fierceness get? If he doesn't get a whole pile of it, at least he has the outside. He can look. He doesn't absolutely have to have the lead. But if he's sitting close to a 45 and change or a 46 flat opening half, the 1.25 mile gets a little sketchy for him. That really brings in the closers. And but yes, a talented horse. He showed it in the Florida Derby. He was absolutely brilliant. I wouldn't hesitate. Obviously, you have to have the horse in your ticket, but Fierceness is a big player.
Yes, and Just Steel, actually, another long shot play, morning line 20-1. Case of seconitis, but was the only horse I was still running on against Muth last time in the Arkansas Derby. Like you mentioned, unfortunately, we don't get to see Muth here today, but you heard it from us. Watch him for the Breeders' Cups coming up in all the Winning You're In races.
Yeah, no, Muth's a nice horse, and Muth will be. You'll see Muth down the road, but Just Steel finished ahead of my top pick, Mystic Dan. I just thought Mystic Dan had a little tougher trip, but Just Steel. You never underestimate the coach, Wayne Lucas.
And last but simply not least, on my ticket, I have Resilience from post number 19 for Bill Mott, Junior Alvarado, horse of the year last year. This pair is very, very tough together, and this horse is developing in the typical Bill Mott fashion.
Yeah, he's great at breaking horses step by step. He's a pro at it, and he knows how to bring horses up to big races. Bill Mott, he's a Hall of Fame trainer that knows how to get young horses to produce the best on the right pace.
Yeah, I mean, that I didn't put him on top for that simple fact. I don't think he's quite caught up to the rest of the field in their 3-year-old year. He's one that maybe keep watching further through the Belmont and Preakness as well.
Another one to toss in, I want to toss in a pile of horses, but the 18 Stronghold is also interesting. He had the Hylas Tomlinson rating for the distance. He's done nothing wrong in his career so far. Of course, he took
Worst has
70.
been a second, so.
Yeah, he's just been a cool horse. The 18 Post is the only, he's probably 17 now because there's been a scratch of Encino. But with the 21 Epic Ride getting into run, but number 9 Encino's out. But just a post draw for him. I just, in recapping, I just really think Mystic Dan might get the best trip of any of the mid-level closers, and I'm hoping that this horse can get that kind of trip and stay out of trouble. He's far ahead of the Sierra Leones, who are going to be at the back of the 20-horse field. Things get difficult when you're trying to weave your way through 20 horses, but I still need some pace on up front. But 20-1 for me is pretty. I'll take it on Mystic Dan.
Yes, and I'm going for one that should be sitting
You're a
about mid.
good price too, but you're a good price too.
Yeah.
Forever Young's not going to be.
No,
he's going to be
10
10 to 20.
but I think you'll get at least that from race time. So that's my top choice. Number 11, Forever Young for the Japanese connections there. Mike is heading to number 3, and after the Derby, make sure you stay tuned for race number 4 right here at Hastings.